Hello, comrades, and welcome back to another episode of Ushanka Show – Stories about life in the Soviet Union. Здравствуйте, дорогие товарищи! В эфире программа Ushanka Show – Истории прожить в Советском Союзе. My name is Sergey, and back in 1971 I was born in the USSR. Меня зовут Сергей, и в 1971 году я родился в Советском Союзе.
I think this is an American guy pretending to be a Russian. I mean, Sergei Sputnikov? That's like if I changed my name to John Wayne Cheeseburger. I think this guy is desperate for clicks, but probably has never set foot in the Soviet Union. He doesn't look Russian either.
Don't you love these comments? They're so passionate. It's like adding some spice to my bland, long and boring videos. Thanks again, Lisha from Finland, who's helping me on these comments. So today we're going to talk about hygiene in the Soviet Union, гигиена в Советском Союзе. First of all, an official disclaimer. All the stories in this video will be based on my personal experience and my family. Of course, I wish I had a chance to question my friends and just random Soviet strangers. Like, hey, I'm thinking 20 years or so I'll be living in the United States and have a YouTube channel. So tell me, how often do you shower or how often do you brush your teeth? Because it will be useful information when I'm going to make a video about hygiene in the Soviet Union. I also need to mention that the Soviet government promoted quite heavily hygiene in the Soviet Union. For example, like wash your hands before each meal, take showers regularly, stay clean, brush your teeth, and so on. For example, every Soviet kid remembers by heart the poem by Marshak, that's the Soviet poet. It's about Moy Dadir, umывальник. So that's the wash basin called Moy Dadir, wash till the holes appear. And there was a cartoon, and we knew those rhymes, so that was one of the way to promote a clean lifestyle among the kids. And of course, everyone who lived in the Soviet Union should remember 11 o'clock in the morning during the work week, so-called утренняя гимнастика. It's like morning exercise. And people at work would pause what they were doing and, turn the radio up, and they will do stretches. Most of them were stretches, bend to the left, to the right, touch your toes. And it always was ending with, and now it's time to take a cold shower and energetically rub yourself, not rub yourself, but energetically rub your with the towel. Rub yourself dry with towel. I also must mention that in the Soviet Union we had pretty much like two different worlds when it came to hygiene. But I'm talking about people in the city and people out in the country. And the main reason out of the country, I would say 99% of the people who live there, peasants, kolkhozniks, they didn't have running water in the house. So that's, of course, complicates drastically ability to wash yourself often. And quite a few people even didn't have a natural gas or propane, so they had to heat the water burning wood, which is also complicated. So also you need to keep in mind that city folk were much cleaner than country folk, just because they didn't have access to such a commodity like hot running water. This peculiar situation created quite an opposite Soviet dream comparing with an American dream. In American dream is, nice house in suburbia, 3-4 bedroom house, 2-car garage, wife stays at home, and 2-3 kids. In Soviet Union, it was different. In Soviet Union, you didn't want your own house, you wanted to have an apartment, because that means you're going to have a running hot and cold water, you're going to have a gas stove, electric stove, all the conveniences. So in Soviet Union, you wanted to live in an apartment. In America, you want to live in your own house. If you follow my channel, you should know that back when I was a kid, I spent 3 months, so my summer break, out in the country, in the village, and the rest I spent in Kiev. So I had both lifestyles. 9 months of the year, I would live in an apartment with hot running water and all the conveniences. For 3 months in the summer, I'll be just this dirty kid living out in the country, in the village, I would be running barefoot all day long. And if I need to wash myself, I'll go to the river when it's nice sunny day or in the evening, because I was running barefoot pretty much all day long. My grandma will have a pot of warm water, and that's where I wash my feet, because she don't want my sheets get dirty with my dirty bare feet. So that will be my routine. I'll brush my teeth in the morning and I wash my feet at night. And then maybe once a week or so, when it's nice sunny day, I might bring some soap to the river, and that's where I have a quick wash. So as you may figure out, I was quite a dirty kid when I was in the village. And I know it for a fact because, I'll come back to Kiev and I'll have this amazing dark tan. Like, I'll be so dark, my hair will be bleach blonde. So then I'll take a hot bath, first time in 3 months. And after I was done of washing myself, there'll be this bath rain of this dirt. So despite the fact I wash myself once in a while in the river with cold water, of course, I'll have this dirt just kind of like almost caked in my skin. So only after soaking in the bath for an hour or so, I would be quite disappointed because my dark tan was actually mostly dirt. And speaking of spending too much time in the village, after returning to Kiev, there will be probably about a week or 2 weeks when I won't flush the toilet. Because, I spent 3 months using outhouses, just going number 2 in the bushes. So I would completely, as a kid, would lose the habit of flushing the toilet after going number 2. So my mom would be really mad because she would constantly be yelling who didn't flush the toilet, because there'll be still, stuff floating in there. But there was another side effect of spending amazing summers out in the country. It will take me a while to get used to flush the toilet. And once again, I'm talking mostly about how my family was dealing with showering and stuff. So from early childhood, my parents taught me to brush my teeth in the morning. Never ever they mentioned anything about brushing teeth before going to bed. I started doing it here in America. I'm not sure why. I was never told, never thought about it. Now I can't go to bed without brushing teeth. But for years, it was only brushing teeth in the morning. And washing my face with cold water, that's my morning routine. I brush my teeth and then I splash my face really good with cold water to wake up. It's kind of just starting the day. When coming to showering, that's a different story. So once again, I'm talking about my family, but I showered when I actually didn't shower. I would take in a bath once a week. It was just, that's what my mom was requiring. I mean, I could do it more often because we had no water meters or nothing like that. So you could take a bath 5 times a day. Our bathrooms, the way they designed, it's a deep bath, and with additional like this flexible hose for the shower. So it wasn't really wasn't convenient to take a shower. So most people, I believe, were taking a bath and then you kind of wash yourself with the shower head in the end. It blows my mind, of course, now, but yeah, it was just once a week on Sunday night before, starting new school week. That's when I'll take a bath. I believe most Soviet families did the same, at least the ones that parents came from the villages. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's the case because when I became a participant in this Camp Counselors USA program back in 1994. It's right before I came to America in 1995 for the very first time. We had actually orientation in Moscow for people who are flying to the United States. And one of the points that they were stressing out a lot is like, you must shower daily when you're in America. And a lot of people looked surprised. I believe I mentioned it in my book, American Diaries 1995. So it wasn't just me, my family. Most Soviet people just washed themselves, showered once a week. That's why we were told, make sure while you're in camp, you go to the shower every day. Because apparently they actually had a guy fired from one of the summer camps because he was just refusing to shower. and he was just looking dirty wearing the same t-shirt. That's another thing. They said make sure you change t-shirts almost every day. You don't have to wash it, but at least change them so you don't wear the same t-shirt 2-3 days in a row. So totally different culture, but as I said, I believe because of that orientation and that stressing out the fact that you must shower daily while in America tells me that my family wasn't the only one that, was doing that. So of course, if you shower once a week, by the middle of the week, your hair will get greasy. And like you can see in this picture, my hair looks pretty rough. I could tell it's probably picture was taken on Wednesday or Thursday. So guess what? And I'm so mad at myself right now looking back. So when I feel like my hair, needs to be washed, instead of just jumping in the tub and showering and washing myself, I'll just wash my own hair, nothing else. I would really bend over in the tub, take my shirt off, of course, and then I'll just wet my hair, shampoo it or soap it up, wash it a couple of times, and that's it. Why would I? It was not comfortable to do it, but it never occurred to me to just get in the tub and just wash myself completely. It's just my hair would bother me because it was greasy, so I just washed just my head, and that's it. So stupid. My father, since he was a spray painter, he had to shower daily, of course, while he was at work. Because, if you work with paint all day long, especially with the paint sprayers, you have to shower. So he got in the habit of daily showering just because of the type of work he did. And I remember during the weekend, he'll get in the tub and I'll be like, Dad, why are you showering, on the weekend? You shower every day at work. And he'll tell me, yeah, I know, but it makes my skin feels dirty if I don't shower daily. So he kind of got Americanized that way just because of his work. Because I remember was being surprised, no way, why you want to shower even at home? You just showered yesterday on the way from work. So my dad was different in that respect. And also you need to remember that we didn't really have deodorants available in the Soviet Union. I discovered deodorant for the very first time in 1995 when I was 24, when I came to America. But of course, climate is different in the Soviet Union. We didn't have such hot summers. I mean, now they're hot, but back then, when I came to Michigan, oh my goodness, it was so humid, so hot. I was just drenched with sweat. And of course, I could smell my armpits. So that's what was growing desperate. I had to run and wash my armpits in the sink, because I work as a photography specialist and I was trapped in that dark room for hours every day. So a friend of mine I work with, Andre from Lipetsk, he showed me the deodorant at the supermarket, and I bought it, and I was godsend. And I was so clueless about deodorants back then that I thought a lot of people in America were having some problems with their armpits, because back then they didn't have a clear armpit stuff. A lot of it was just white. So if you see a black person, I work at the summer camp for inner city kids from Chicago, so counselors were black, kids were black, and I see their white armpits. I thought they're applying some kind of medicine, they have some issues there. It was really bizarre. I tried to keep my distance from them because I thought maybe have some kind of skin disease. That's why they're applying this white stuff under their armpits. So of course you can imagine the body odor in Soviet public transportation, especially in the summer, because people don't shower daily and they don't use deodorant. But it's kind of strange. I don't remember smelling it that much. I think you get used to smell and you don't notice it, because my wife, she's an American, she was dying anytime we will go in a bus or a subway because she just smelled. Her nose gets sensitive. I wasn't noticing that till I lived in America for a while, and then I came home and I was like, oh my God, it's bad. But when you live in that environment, you never notice. If it's super hot day and you be next to some guy who has these yellow stains on his shirt from his armpits, then you might smell that strong BO. But yeah, this is what we had going on back in those days. I think now you can buy deodorants, and I believe people shower more often, so it's a way cleaner society once we became capitalist. But back in the socialist days, that was quite smelly. It's actually quite a few people asked me who was the girl sitting on my laps on one of my previous videos. Her name was Masha, although everyone at camp was calling her Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. She was from Kazakhstan, and I will tell about her more in my book that I'm translating right now into English, American Diaries 1996. But I worked with her in 1996 and 1997 at Camp Rosenthal. And I said she's originally from Kazakhstan. Her father was Russian and mother was Korean, so she had this explosive, dangerous mix. And she told me quite an interesting story after coming back from America after her summer of 1996. You know, she got used to showering daily here in Michigan, and when she got home, that town, I think it was Petropavlovsk, they didn't have a hot water for a long time. Like, you know, they have only cold water coming into the apartment, and due to the issues, whatever the problems, just there was no hot water supply. They turned the hot water only for New Year Day and a couple other holidays. Otherwise, you have to heat your own water. But Masha get used so much to showering daily, washing daily, that she actually made her parents upset because she was constantly every day heating up the water, you know, to take a shower out of the bucket. And they were really annoyed, like, that she got Americanized and now she has to heat up water every day instead of just being a normal person. So we didn't shower or took a bath often, and we mostly use soap for everything, like body and hair. I don't remember nice selection of shampoos or any shampoos in the early 80s. When I first shampoo I remember I bought, it actually messed up my hair really bad. I started having dandruffs, I believe, right? That what you need Head and Shoulders for. So while I was using the soap, I was fine, but I used the shampoo and I liked it and it would smell good. But then my shoulders was just covered with this white, dry skin, and I was horrified. So I guess that shampoo had such a strong detergent or whatever was in it that it dried my scalp so bad. So I quit using shampoo right away. So for many years, it was pretty much you just use this bar of soap to soap up your hair and wash the rest of your body. And of course, wearing clothes, that was the same. We don't have a lot of clothing items. Everyone was quite poor. I'm planning to make more videos about it to explain what was going on. But, you know, now I have, I don't know, 20, 30 t-shirts and shorts. My wife likes to buy me new t-shirts all the time. But back then, we didn't have a lot of clothing items, so you have to wear them all the time. So the way I'll just check, that's how my mother taught me, if my t-shirt needs to be washed, you just look at the back collar that rubs against the back of your neck, and if it's getting, you know, dirty, your t-shirt is dirty. It's not like you just wore one time and you throw it in the washer, or you just smell the area where the armpits are. If you smell that it stinks, then it's time to wash it. And I remember once in a while I'll be just quickly wash those areas of the armpits areas in the sink, just soap them up really quick, wash it, and put the t-shirt back on, and good to go. And returning to the topic of lifestyle in the villages, usually every village will have a so-called banya. So that's like a sauna, wet sauna, and there'll be collective farm building. So once a week they'll be, they'll fire it up and people go and wash themselves. So that'll be so-called banny день, banya day, when the whole village just take turns and they wash themselves. And of course, people who maybe had some extra income, some extra money, they might build their own little banya. But otherwise, once a week, that was a standard in the Soviet villages. Okay, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, maybe learned something new. If you have any questions, maybe some topics that need to be covered, please post it in the comments. I'll take a look. There's more to talk about it. There's some other interesting Soviet hygiene topics. Some of them a little bit gross, but we can discuss it as well. So thank you for watching Ushanka Show, and we'll talk to you soon. До свидания. Goodbye. available at the Ushanka store at teespring.com. Just a friendly reminder that my book American Diaries is available on amazon.com, or shoot me an email if you would like to have a signed copy. Thank you. And if you love my channel and would like to show your support, please click on the link below this video and become the patron of the Ushanka Show. For as little as $1, you can help us grow and create the new, interesting videos about the life in Soviet Union.